Hey, my amazing artists. Welcome back for our fourth week of virtual learning together. I have a rather funny, kind of awesome art activity planned for us today. We're going to be creating found object portraits. Now, before we can talk more about it, let's start with our learning target. I can create a portrait using found objects. So, quick little review first. What is a portrait? Is it a picture of a place, things, or a person? Typically, portraits always include a picture of a person in them, like our self-portraits that we did. But remember, a self-portrait is all about you, the artist. In this case, your portrait could be you, or it could also be someone else, such as a famous celebrity or athlete. You could pick someone you love, like a friend or a family member. You could even do a portrait of your pet today if you'd like. But when we hear the words found object, we know that we're going to be looking around our house to find the objects to make up our portrait today. So we're not going to be using the traditional art materials, and our portraits might look kind of funny because of that. I actually have a new artist I want to talk about who also made portraits using some different types of things to make up people's faces. Let's take a look at our artist. Our artist today is Mr. Giuseppe Arcimboldo. Mr. Arcimboldo was an Italian painter who lived back in the 1500s, around 500 years ago. He was best known for creating imaginative portraits of people's heads using objects such as fruits, vegetables, flowers, fish, and even sometimes books. He would paint these objects onto his canvas and arrange them in a way so that way they would form a likeness of a person. What I mean by likeness is that you could recognize features of a person's face, such as an eye, a nose, or even a mouth, to give the illusion of this being a real person, when actually it was made out of other objects. These are just a few of Mr. Arcimboldo's creative portraits that he made out of other objects. All right, now that we've learned a little bit about our artist, we need to start getting our art supplies together. But again, because this is a found object portrait, we're not going to be getting out things like paper and pencils today. Instead, we're going to need to look around our whole home to find the objects that we might need to create a portrait. Now, here are 3 things to think about while you're looking for your objects. The first thing to think about is a shape, such as the shape of the person's face. All faces have a nice kind of round shape to them, so you might want to find a large circle or oval to start with the face itself. Besides shapes, we might also want to look for colors that help show who that person is. As an example, I have blue eyes. I might want to look for 2 small items that are blue to make it look more like me if I was creating a self-portrait today. The last thing I want to think about also is texture. For example, my hair is long and smooth, whereas some parents might have curly hair or short kind of spiky hair. Those different texture words will help us find objects to help show texture, like on our hair, to help show who that person is. Remember, the more details you have, eyes, nose, mouth, hair, even things like glasses or ears, the more you'll be able to tell who your portrait is. So let's go ahead, look around our house, and find the objects to create a portrait based off of the person or pet that you're thinking about. All right, artists, I went around my house and I found a whole bunch of different objects that I could use for my family portrait that I decided to do. So I'm going to start off by making myself and Mr. G, and then I'm also going to show our 2 kitties as well. So here's what I found for myself. I found a nice big yellow hoop. This is for doing knitting. And I couldn't find any brown scarves, but I found a nice long black scarf to kind of use for my hair. I used some nice blue paper clips that I found to help create my eyes. My eyes are also blue. And I thought, how funny would it be to have a big rainbow mouth and a cute little broken crayon nose. So there's my portrait that I made. Then, for Mr. G's, I found a nice big white plate. I also found a nice brown comb for his short kind of spiky hair that he has. I found some cute little pom-poms for his green eyes, which are also his favorite color. And then I found a little button for his cute nose, and a great big banana for his mouth because of all the funny things that he likes to say sometimes. So there's mine and Mr. G's. Then I go ahead, slide these up, and I'll show you my kitties as well. So my cat Molly is brown, so I found a nice little embroidery hoop for her. And of course I want to give her some nice large pointed ears like she has. So I have some large binder clips. She also has green eyes just like Mr. G does, so I found some more green pom-poms. And a cute little heart pin for her nose. And then I wanted to add some whiskers, so I went ahead and pulled out some of my bobby pins that I have to make her whiskers. And this is my cat, Molly. Then, Mr. G's cat, Peels, well, he's actually orange, but I found a red Tupperware lid. And I found some nice pennies for his orangey yellow kind of colored eyes. He also has some great big binder clip ears, so I'll add those. And then, as well, gave him a cute little pin nose and some more bobby pins for his whiskers. Now again, the more detail you add to your portraits, the more we'll be able to tell who or what your portrait is. When you're all done setting up your portraits, make sure grab a quick picture, and if you want to, please post it onto Artsonia so that way I can see who you created in your portraits as well. I hope you have a lot of fun and good laugh with these found object portraits that you create.